What's going on, all you wild 1950s enthusiasts? It's your two favorite retro uncles back here tonight for Cinephellas. I'm Logan Myers, my good mate over there.
And I'm Henry Stiles, and we're back tonight. We're going to review the movie that saw a lot of controversy this past year, filmed during the pandemic. We're talking about Olivia Wilde's Don't Worry, Darling.
I've been waiting for someone like you, someone to challenge me. Like a good girl.
And that's right. Don't worry, darling. We're actually giving this movie away, I believe, next week. So, we've been wanting to talk about this, check this out finally. And I just got around to watching this recently on HBO Max. And, it was pretty interesting. Film takes place in the 1950s. Essentially, Florence Pugh and Harry Styles characters are a couple. They enjoy cocktails and parties and everything you would expect back in the 1950s. The man goes to work every day, wife stays at home, cleans the house, and all that. Going back in that time was pretty interesting. But their lavish lifestyle looked like Palm Springs, California. Back in the 50s, and what you would expect with all the retro colors and cars and things like that. The overall setting of the movie is really cool.
Yeah, that's what I enjoyed right out of the gate. The whole vibe being in the 50s reminded me of Mad Men, the same kind of era, the same really awesome, how they dressed back then was just superb. You don't see it anymore. We all want comfort, and back then they were dressed to the nines. Everybody looked great, had awesome cars. And then you get the scene with all the husbands leaving at the same time, all the nice, 50s cars lining up and headed down the road to all head to the same company that's around there called Victory. And they're all working for the same person, and the man in charge over at Victory is none other than Chris Pine.
Frank, runs the company of Victory, and right from the get-go introduction of his character, feels like something's out for this guy. That something sinister's at play here, and all the men going to work, coming home every night to have a drink and dinner and talk about their day. And there's Harry Styles' character, he plays Jack. He's exhausted and dealing with a lot of stuff at work and trying not to talk about it. But as the movie progresses and goes on, you kind of figure out with Alice's character, figuring out something's off with this town and his people in this company.
Yeah, Florence Pugh plays, his wife, and she gets more and more suspicious as time goes on. She wonders what he's doing during the day. Meanwhile, she's living the ultimate housewife life. Just chilling around home, chilling by the pool, chilling with the other ladies in the neighborhood. Looks like a great life. So, I mean, why would you even question it from her perspective? But who am I to say? Looks like a great life. You don't have to work. You just stay around the house and do whatever you want. It sounds pretty appealing to me. But, over time, she gets kind of bored with it and gets more and more suspicious and peels back the layers. And it was something I, didn't really know, uh, in advance of this movie. I saw some trailers. It looked like it was going to be, on kind of looking at this relationship and a lot of deception and, not trusting each other. But as the movie goes on, it's a bigger thing at play here, and I was very surprised by that. I wasn't tipped off to anything that was going to happen, and that was nice going in with a fresh set of eyes. And only hearing about the controversy, overall, I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw.
Yeah, I think a lot of the controversy really ruined the movie for a lot of people, including myself. All that surrounding the movie, I didn't really care to see it. It showed up on HBO Max. I'm like, you know what? I love Florence Pugh and some of the actors in the movie. I'm gonna give it a watch, and I was pleasantly surprised. I went with low expectations. I actually thought it was kind of a cool movie overall, stylish, keeps you guessing, has some sci-fi aspects to it. You think it's gonna go this way, it goes a completely different way with a twist towards the end that I didn't really see coming. And some really solid performances here, but Florence Pugh carries the movie, honestly. She does in every movie she's in. She's one of the best young actresses out there, and she really carries this movie. Harry Styles did a pretty good job with what he's given. Not a huge fan of his, but he played it pretty safe in this movie. And Nick Kroll in this, Ruxin had a small part.
Yeah.
Chris Pine in this, Olivia Wilde, the directors in the movie, doesn't have a huge part of the movie, but she's living in this lifestyle in the 1950s and friends with Florence Pugh. But overall, the cast is pretty solid.
Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't hate anybody's performance. Like I mentioned, Harry Styles doing his thing. He's not like a terrific actor, but I, bought him in this role. He seemed like he'd, be a gentleman of the time. He, looked the part. Played the husband, going to work every day, coming home exhausted at the end of the day. And then Florence Pugh, yeah, she's really the focal point and the highlight of the whole movie for me. She has a great performance here, as she, slowly unravels and, starts to question her own sanity as the movie goes on. The main thing about this movie, though, that I take away from this is Olivia Wilde's directing. I thought she did a fantastic job here. I mean, really, directing this movie. I really liked the visual style that she used. All the really cool. She had some really cool camera shots. The car going into the desert at the end with the the dust going off. Some really great shots, and I think she has a promising career here. She directed Booksmart a couple of years back, and now this one with a lot of controversy and her cheating on her husband and all that. Hopefully, she can in a couple of years' time, put everything behind her and get, back behind the lens, because I think she did a good job in this movie for sure. This was a great effort for her, and a surprise movie for me that I actually enjoyed, for the most part.
Yeah, this is a visually beautiful movie. The cinematography alone, as you were saying, a lot of the shots in this movie really takes you back in that time period. And she captures that beautifully, going from her first movie doing a comedy to like more of a drama, suspense type of film with some sci-fi elements to it. I think she did a really, really solid, job with this movie. Really great directing. The overall cast, did a great job in this. Love the story, love the twist in this. Probably one of the most surprising movies of the year. Really a movie I would go in with low expectation. Some parts of the movie kind of dragged a bit, but that's my little nitpick about the movie. Everything else is pretty fantastic. So that being said, I'm giving Olivia Wilde's Don't Worry Darling, streaming on HBO Max, a 4 out of 5 Harry Styles hairpieces.
Ooh, you really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for the most part, and it's worth another viewing for me. I saw it once. I wouldn't mind watching again. It went in with low expectations, and it exceeded them and then some. I am going to give Don't Worry, Darling a 3.5 out of 5 Florence Pugh hairpieces.
So interested from hearing all you wild rascals out there. What did you like about Don't Worry, Darling? What didn't you like about it? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe. Also, check out these wild boys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, at our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV, movie news, and reviews.
So thank you guys so much for joining us, and also make sure to enter into the contest to win the digital code for this movie so you guys can go ahead and watch it. I'm sure a lot of you haven't seen this yet, and we hope that by watching our review, we encourage you guys to check this out. It's definitely worth a watch. Maybe you won't love it, but I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised, as both of us were. So thanks for tuning in to our review of Don't Worry, Darling. Until the next Cinephellas movie review, I'm Uncle Henry Styles.
And I'm Logan Kroll, signing out until the next movie review.
Cheers!